know your stuff to get that. So,
Love what they've done. Love what you've done, Kelly. I need it. I need it around this time of year.
all right. So, while we were talking about before on the movie train,
Yeah.
this will lead perfectly into One's Got to Go.
Yep.
Denzel Washington,
Yep.
Mark Wahlberg,
Yep.
Brad Pitt.
Oh, yeah.
So there's your three: Denzel,
Mark.
Wahlberg, Brad Pitt.
All right, mine's
So that's
easy.
tough. Oh, it's an easy one for
Yeah,
you.
easy.
Okay, let us have it.
Well, and I do think he's great, but out of those three, he's gone. Denzel, see you later.
No way.
Now,
What
Denzel,
a bizarre call.
he is very good, but Brad Pitt, Mark Wahlberg, they're up there. Brad Pitt, my favourite actors are usually Brad Pitt, Leo, Tom Cruise, and Mark's in there as well almost.
okay.
You know what I mean? Mark Wahlberg. Mark can do comedy, action, everything, so can Brad Pitt.
I feel like Pitt kind of
Denzel, he can only do action.
incorrect.
And I love him. I reckon he's great, but
What do we call?
remember the Titans?
Yeah.
Okay. He can do a bit of drama, but he can't do a comedy to save himself.
There we go. He's great. He's on. Denzel's on a. Who runs the? I think Jamie Foxx had like a little YouTube show going for a bit, and he just gets like actors on, and they chat
Yeah,
about it.
yeah,
He's very funny on that as well. But
No, don't get me wrong. I do like Denzel, and his movies are good, but I just don't know if he has the full range.
full range.
There's like a range, and then there's like, and I do like even some of Denzel's movie, like is it Flight?
Where
He's
very good.
You know, he's the pilot, but he's on
based off
the
real,
gear and
on the
stuff
real
like that.
story. Yeah.
And he's got a lot of good movies, old Denzel. But
Deja Vu, great.
Yeah.
Johnny Q, I was the other day.
See, yeah,
Inside Man.
Yep, Inside Man.
What else do you want?
Deja
Remember
Vu.
the Titans?
Johnny Q. You just mentioned three movies that have got exactly the same story. Same
Fallon,
stories.
1, 2, 3?
Yep, same story. That's four.
What do you mean, same story?
They're all the same story, same storyline. He's always the same bloke. So that's what I don't like the range. Where Brad Pitt, he can play anything.
Pitt, I'm looking at his movie list. He's been slacking for the last few years, I reckon.
Denzel?
No.
Brad Pitt. No.
Once upon a time in Hollywood.
Unbelievable. He plays it. Yep, that character's awesome. That actor guy.
And that's it since, I don't think, Bullet Train. Never heard of it.
Bullet Train.
Must have,
Well,
that was a swing
There's a
and a
new
miss.
movie. There's a new movie on Netflix with him, Sandra Bullock, and Channing Tatum. Actually, I'm not sure.
oh, yeah?
Straight to Netflix. I guess they're all doing now. But
Yeah, I think
I
they all
don't know
do
how
that.
good it would be. But
To be honest, him
Brad, but he's probably dead.
in Ocean's 11,
Oceans.
he's so good.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith, really underrated movie.
I'm just looking through his list here,
Really
yeah.
good flick. Obviously, he did Fight Club. Underrated. Seven. You know what's a good one? Where he gets absolutely cleaned up by the car and dies, and then
no.
he's like the angel or whatever.
Spoiler.
Shit.
Spoiler.
What's that?
Fury, not Fury. That's a war movie, which is not bad.
Who knows it in the comments? He's like
Troy and Fury. He's got
Troy's good in. He falls in love with a girl. Meet Joe Black, I think it's called.
Meet Joe.
Really,
and he's in Moneyball too, which is great.
Moneyball.
But let me see. I can't find
So
Meet Joe
that's
Black.
about his range. He can do like the
He's got a
actions
lot
and stuff.
of.
Moneyball. He's
Do you
great
know
in.
when Meet Joe Black was roughly filmed?
Early. He looks pretty young in that. Benjamin Button, he did. Shit, he's got some range.
He did
this
Benjamin
boy.
Button as well. Yeah, okay. Jeez,
Anything else he's got? He's got how
there's-
many flicks?
There's some really good ones in here. So he's that I'm looking at here. He was in Snatch.
Yep.
Obviously Moneyball, which is quite good.
Moneyball's really good. Yeah.
And then he's got a new one coming out. He's Bob Marley, One Love.
Okay, there you go.
Obviously the Curious Case of Benjamin Button. 7 Inglourious Bastards.
There we go. Kelly's agreed with me too. Denzel's great, but just can't hold a candle to the other two. So, and then let's talk about Mark Wahlberg.
Marky Mark, yeah. Let's get Marky Mark
And
started.
we're talking range. So you go from sniper to the other guys. You go from rock star to something like
He does have range
Daddy's
on
Home.
that.
He just has a real
His comedy is very
his
good.
comedy's up there with the action. You don't usually get the double, I reckon, and he's very funny. But he's plays those action ones real good. The one with the Boston bombings.
Oh, that's so good. That's
You know, I should tell the people this quick story just as a side note.
Father Stu as well is good. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I did see Father Stu. Is that like a more serious one? Should I tell them the story? I was in America when those Boston bombings happened.
Crazy.
And we just left Boston that morning. Right? That morning. So we'd taken off. We were at Boston for 2 days before it. Saw them setting up all the Boston marathon stuff. We left that morning as we were checking into the hotel at New York. So we gone from Boston, drove across into New York, which is a few hours, whatever it was. as we're checking into the hotel, looking up at the screen, and it's just all happened.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The Boston Marathon bombing. So, and then because obviously, when you're traveling around, you don't get Wi-Fi straight away, and there's always
And
so
back in the
I was
day
getting getting back then. It was probably WhatsApp and shit like that. From like mum and dad going, are you guys all right? Like there was a lot of like. It was a bit of worry about it because, no one knew the exact plan. Then we're in Boston, and then you hear the bombings going off and stuff. So scary time for over there. And
they reckon he was the guy, or that they did it, was heading up to New York too to go again. In that movie, they say they were going to go.
That's
up
a really good movie too. That one, and obviously Mark's really good in that.
That's crazy though.
It's a crazy story, that thing, and then the coward just hides away in his little boat there. But but that's another great movie he's in. He's in that many movies. If you got him up there,
it's good. That's underrated. Spencer Confidentiality.
Yep.
Well, confidential. Hey, you know what?
That's right.
Unfortunately, this is the tiebreaker. Two Guns.
Great.
Denzel.
They're both in it.
Takes the chockies.
They're both in it. Yeah. I can't remember that one as much.
I'll tell you what. If you haven't seen Two Guns, very funny and very good. Yeah. It's like a couple of double cross, triple cross type situations.
Watch.
Fighter, very good.
One movie he did that was actually a bit average, and I don't usually say it because I'm usually pretty easy just with a real basic, sit down and, zone out for 2 hours kind of movie, but it wasn't that good. What was it? It had him and Kevin Hart. And it was like a buddy friendship comedy kind of thing. But it just, I don't know. It was like, it was pretty much like Central Intelligence with
but it just didn't hit.
I don't know. It was just, it was the same. He played the same, like, Kevin Hart played the same character, The Rock and him in Central Intelligence, where Kevin Hart's the straight guy. And but it was pretty much the same movie, but Mark Wahlberg was the Rock kind of character.
Yeah, it's not popping up here. Let me find it. I'll find it. Kevin Hart.
It's really so. Mark plays the kind of the good looking chiseled
me time.
Yeah, and then obviously, and Kevin Hart plays the little dweeby married
only a couple
guy
of years ago. I haven't seen it.
It's worth a watch just to kind of have a look at it because.
You know what? I have seen it.
Gags in it and stuff.
It's like their 40th birthday, and they're at like Burning Man or whatever.
It's kind of like a shit version of Central Intelligence, which I don't usually say about Marky because I like even Daddy's Home. People don't rate that much, but I actually like Daddy's Home.
Very funny. Other guys, absolute classic.
Other guys,
Italian Job.
Oh my god, one of his best actually. Italian Job.
Departed, obviously great. Four Brothers. If you haven't seen Four Brothers,
how many movies has Mark done? He's absolutely
mate. There's so many in here, and the one that I was looking at that's underrated too. You said The Gambler.
I have, where he's got all those debts and stuff, and they come after him a bit. I haven't seen that for a long time. That's a great movie.
What's the John Goodman?
John Goodman has the big shit. That's
Jeez, we'll move on to. So you're getting rid of Denzel. So
just because I know Denzel's obviously got the range, but that's what I mean. I couldn't mention all those movies as for Denzel.
So I'm gonna head to Denzel's, but for me,
that's all Denzel's got. So no, you go.
I'm keeping. We just went through Mark Wahlberg. I think Wahlberg's one of my all-time faves. But I'm unfortunately going to have to sack Brad Pitt.
Oh.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. Going through his movies then, it's tough. But then when you I think some of these Denzel movies are just so good.
Right.
You know what's underrated? Oh, not underrated, but like not many of. Have you seen Training Day?
Yep.
See that?
Great.
Ripper. Remember the Titans?
Unbelievable.
And then you've got all these, like, obviously you got the equalizers that everyone loves, but Man on Fire, Inside Man, which is an absolute.
Another one where he plays that same character.
Don't do it. Deja Vu.
Yep, good one. As is good.
Johnny Q.
Yep.
So good. There's one, is it Safe House? He's in Safe House, but I don't think that's the one I'm talking about.
Yep.
Obviously you got Two Guns with Marky Mark. But what's the other one?
You know what I will say about Denzel? If you said who's out of those three, who are the best actors, I would say Brad Pitt and Denzel.
Yeah.
Mark's a good actor, but he's like, sometimes the way he acts and he puts on like Boston accents and stuff like that, sometimes it doesn't, I don't know. Like his movies are great and he's really good in them, if that makes sense. But he's acting, like I don't know if you could put Mark into that role of the guy from the Remember the Titans and stuff like that. So I think I'll definitely give Denzel that.
Out of Time, quite good. Fallon 1, 2, 3. If you haven't seen that with John Travolta,
that's a good one.
Underrated,
Johnny
very underrated.
Travolta.
But there we go. There's obviously more he's in.
Well, let us know in the comments what you. What do you think? We'll put it up on the Instagrams. We're to start doing that.
Yeah. When you look at it, he probably hasn't got as many as Wahlberg. Like you can't, but I think the quality of some of these are just so good. If you're real, like Inside Man, like if you're a real movie buff, I feel like the quality.
Well, Brad said that Pitt beating up wife should be enough to sock him out of the 3. Oh, man's got anger issues. I've never heard about that little controversy.
Is he still with?
Not little controversy. Obviously, that's a big controversy. But I've never heard that. Have you heard that?
No. Is he still with old mate?
Who? The one that
Jolly? Kids with.
Yeah. Bradley, was that with Jennifer? Not Jennifer. Was that with Angelina Jolie, or maybe Jennifer, or maybe it was someone else? But yeah, shit, I've never heard about that. But maybe there was some. We don't want to dive too far into that, but
interesting.
Sounds like
we'll have to go in.
You know what? We listen to our, we love Brad. He's got it down, and
So
we leave it. So we'll have to look into that. So yeah, maybe Brad's sacked.
Pitt's gone. I'm keeping Denzel and Marky Mark.
Marky. Oh, that's good. Well, let us know in the comments. Even with the new news here, with the new news of Brad Pitt. Well, maybe he's gone, but that's.